Hello and welcome to Mind Mastery Accelerator, your stop for becoming a fearless entrepreneur. I am your host, attorney Sean Arnold, and I am here with your other host, Mr. Vernon Webb, Master Executive Performance Coach. How are you this evening, Vernon?
I'm great, Sean. How about you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you so
Good.
much. Vernon, I very recently had lunch with my client Paul and his son Tyler. Tyler is a new college student, and the topic at lunch centered around Tyler's struggles with focusing on his schoolwork. Now, Tyler is at junior college. He did not qualify to go to university because, much like his teachers used to say in high school, Tyler was very smart and he had a lot of good leadership qualities, but Tyler could not focus on his schoolwork. So
Okay.
here's the thing though. When you talk to Tyler, he's a really big sports fan. He can give you all of the lineup of the football teams. He can give you the lineup of the basketball teams. He can tell you sports stats galore. So clearly, Tyler can focus when he's motivated to do so.
Okay.
But he does not focus on his schoolwork. He doesn't calendar his deadlines. He doesn't go start from that due date and then work his way backwards and then
Mhm.
build in all the things that need to be done to get him to that due date. He just focuses on the wrong things. Now, from an NLP perspective, that is focus. This is his inability to do the things that he's supposed to do is actually focus because he's focusing on the wrong things. He has a strategy for actually getting himself distracted. And we're going to talk about strategies in another show. But today, I want to talk about how Tyler can refocus his mind so that he can start to make his deadlines. So let me ask you, Vernon, why should he focus? I mean, there are obvious reasons, but why is it important for Tyler to focus?
Focus, Sean, is about being able to control your mind. And there is a benefit to being able to control your mind. I would say that one of the geniuses of all time was a master at being able to focus. And I believe that his ability to focus is what made him a genius in more than one area. And of course, that particular man is Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo was a genius in science. He was a genius in invention. He was a genius in just medicine. He was absolutely phenomenal. But what most people don't know about Leonardo da Vinci is that Leonardo had the habit, if you will, of going into a dark room with a candle. He'd place the candle next to his bed. He'd find a spot on the wall or the ceiling, and are you ready for this? He would stare at that spot on the wall or the ceiling to the exclusion of everything else. His mind is no different than anybody else's. It wants to go over here. It wants to think about this. And what about over there? No, bring it back. Bring it back. So he focused. And that is why I believe that he is such a phenomenal genius. Now, what Leonardo did with what he was doing is that he didn't allow anything to stop him from being able to focus to the exclusion of everything else. So, what I would share with Tyler or anybody else who is interested is, first of all, why do you want to focus? What's the end result of being able to focus? And trust me, we talk about sports. You don't become good at sports by spending an hour once a week doing something and expect you're going to become a Kobe Bryant or a LeBron James or anybody over and over and over and over. So what I would tell Tyler is, first of all, learning how to focus. And you do that very simply by closing your eyes, relaxing your mind, relaxing your body. Set a timer. 10 minutes. That's not a long time. And imagine that you can see the air coming into your nostrils when you inhale and going out of your mouth when you exhale. See it coming into your nostrils when you inhale, going out of your mouth when you exhale, to the exclusion of everything else. And when you're able to focus on that mental picture for 10 minutes, you'll have then upped your strength in focusing. And that mental picture will allow you to do just that. Focus. Now, let's talk about a particular technique that is probably at the crux, if you will, of the Silva method, and that is mirror the mind. Mirror the mind enables you to really separate and understand a problem from its beginning to its end solution. So you start out with a blue frame mirror. What is the blue frame? The blue frame mirror is the existing situation, or it is the problem. You look at it and you see a blue frame mirror here. You study it, you understand it, but when you finish with it, you erase it, you blow it up, you erase it, blow it up. When you're done,
Fire, eliminate it, do whatever you have to do.
smash it if you like. But when you're done, that is the message to your subconscious mind that the problem no longer exists. Now, what do you want? Well, here's where you put the white frame mirror. What does the end result look like? What does it look like if you were able to be successful at focusing? Well, it would sound like your friends telling you what a great job you did because you got good grades. What it would feel like is that achievement, knowing that you were able to learn how to focus and to get good grades so you could move forward. So, in that white frame mirror, imagine that you're in an environment in which, and I'll borrow a little NLP here, you're just experiencing success. What does success look like? And success looks like a smile on your face. It looks like a good grade on your paper. It sounds like your friends telling you what a great job you did and how the hell did you do that? And what does it feel like to be successful? And I know that we can go into some of the more intricate submodalities that NLP incorporates, but long story short, that's what you're looking to be able to do.
That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. And to your point, NLP does have a very similar technique, but it differs slightly from the blue frame mirror, white frame mirror technique in that what you would do is create the picture of what it looks like when you are distracted. What is
Ah,
being said? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel in that moment of distraction?
yes.
And then after you analyze that picture separately, bring up the picture of what it looks like when you actually accomplish your task, when you finish that project and turn it in on time. What are you going to hear? Good job. Well done. You're going to see the clock tick to the final hour, and you'll feel the satisfaction that you've already turned in your assignment. You you create that picture of what the success looks like, and then analyze the two pictures side by side. Your picture of distraction and your picture of success. I can guarantee you they don't look the same.
No.
And NLP would have you take the submodalities of the picture of distraction and change it to look like the picture of success. So that if your picture of distraction was just a photograph and your picture of success was a movie, and you were in it, and you were having these wonderful conversations and feeling this amazing vibration, and the colors are very vibrant, then you would take that picture of distraction and change the submodalities of that picture to match the submodalities of that picture of success. And you will find that the distractions will fall away because you will be motivated to get to that picture of success. It's really amazing how the unconscious mind works. And so there is another NLP technique that I would like to share with the listeners this evening,
Please do.
Vernon, that is really associated with how to take that white frame mirror, the picture in that mirror, or the
Mhm.
picture of success, and anchor it somewhere in your body. And so I'm going to talk very briefly about anchoring. Now, anchoring is all about eliciting a desirable feeling and then anchoring that desirable feeling somewhere on your body. And so, as we think about the feeling itself, that feeling is going to have a certain intensity, as you see on the x axis of
Mhm.
this graph. And that feeling is going to last for a certain amount of time, as you
Mhm.
see on the white axis of this graph. And as the feeling comes in and peaks and then ebbs and eventually goes away, it's going to look something like this. That is what the emotion looks like as it comes in, as it peaks, and then as it goes away. If you want to anchor this feeling somewhere in your body, you would choose a spot on your body. I'll use an example. I'll use this knuckle as an example. You would choose that knuckle and then you would elicit that strong emotional state. And the anchor then would come in as that emotion is intense. You bring in that emotion. When you feel it really intense, you touch that spot where you're going to anchor that emotion. And as that emotion starts to ebb, you let go of the anchor. It's extremely important that you do not ride that emotion all the way down to nothing, because then you'll wind up anchoring nothing. You want to anchor it when that emotion is strong, and you want to let that anchor go just after the peak when you feel that emotion starting to ebb. So there are four steps to anchoring. The first thing you want to do is recall a past intense emotion 4 times. Now, you can use the same incident 4 times, or you can use 4 different incidents as long as they give you the same emotion and the same intensity. So you recall that intense emotion 4 times, and then you anchor that intense emotion 4 times in the same spot. Now it's important. I am sampling this for you on my knuckle. But you want to choose a unique spot on your body, someplace that you don't necessarily touch every single day. You might want to anchor something behind your ear or behind your knee, or maybe on the inside of your elbow, someplace that you don't necessarily touch all the time, like maybe anchoring your thumb to your pinky finger, because you don't really do this on the daily basis. So just find
Okay.
a unique spot on your body where you are going to put the anchor and drop it 4 times. Again, make sure that the state is really intense while you are anchoring it. And when that state starts to ebb, starts to go away, let go of that anchor, because you don't want to ride that state all the way down and anchor nothing. And then finally, evoke the emotion. Once you have anchored it 4 times in place,
Mhm.
you want to distract yourself from the anchoring. Ask yourself what you had for breakfast this morning. Remember what you had for breakfast. And what that does is it breaks your state. And then you can truly test your anchor. Go back to it and just press that anchor and let go. And if you get this feeling that sort of comes up and wells up, gets intense, and then ebbs naturally, you have successfully anchored that emotion on your body. If you find that it didn't work, go back and repeat those 4 steps of anchoring again. And if you found that it did work, now you've got an anchor that you can use whenever you feel distracted. When you encounter that feeling of distraction, you can do what Vernon suggests, which is that feeling of distraction has been put into a blue frame mirror and you can smash it and then bring up that white frame mirror and
Exactly.
just envelop yourself in that picture of the white frame
That's
mirror.
it.
Or you can press that anchor and experience that motivation to actually accomplish your task. What do you think about anchoring, Vernon?
Anchoring is a very powerful way to move forward with a new skill. One of the questions, though, that you want to ask yourself, Sean, is why am I doing this? Why? I mean, what's my motivation? And once you establish what your motivation is, then you say, okay, this is why I'm doing it. Why does a basketball player practice for hours and for days? Because they want to be at the top of their game. They want to be as successful as possible. They want to develop their skill. They're looking at being able to establish a line of communication between mind and body so that when they get in that position to take a shot, they've done it so many times until the body just does what it's always done whenever they get in that position. That's your motivation.
Mhm. Can I suggest for our listeners that if you have a child like Tyler who is having trouble focusing, but your child is much younger, your child is still in elementary or middle school or high school, you can use a similar technique to motivate them to focus on their schoolwork. But it is extremely important that you understand you are not forcing them to focus. What you're doing is guiding their brain to
Mhm.
put itself into the position of focus. So before you tell them to do their homework, you help them prepare themselves. You say to them, okay, close your eyes and take a deep breath and focus on your breathing. And so you can take them through the breath work technique that Vernon described earlier to help them slow the level of their brain waves because children are awfully distracted and they're running to and fro all the time, and then you tell them go do your homework. uh Help them out, help them help themselves by
Amazing.
getting them into that emotional state where they have slowed their brain waves down, they have slowed their breathing down, they have slowed their heart rate down. Now they can focus on their homework.
I would say that you make it something that they look forward to. You want to
Yes.
make the stress go away? Yeah. You want to make it easy for you to study and remember? Yeah. Let me share something with you. Okay. First of all, you want to close your eyes. Go like that. Now I want you to breathe. I want you to relax. Okay. Do you see yourself relaxing? Good. Now, create a picture of the air moving in and out of your body and feel your body relaxing. It's a pleasant feeling. You can smile and they'll go, let them feel relaxed. Now, here's what you want to do. You want to see the air coming in and out of your body. You want to feel your body relaxing. You want to feel very, very good because you know what? You're going to ace this test. You're going to do very well in school. And yes, you will. You'll do very well in school. All you want to be able to do is learn how to relax. Because when you learn how to relax, your mind opens up and will give you whatever information you put in it. And so that's why you want to learn to focus. That's why you want to learn to relax. It does take practice, though. Just like
That
LeBron has to
is
practice every day, every day. Get a timer on your phone, 10 minutes, close your eyes, relax.
Yes,
Relax.
that's amazing. Now, how often does somebody teach a child to meditate? How often does someone teach a child to collect their thoughts, to gather themselves and center themselves and calm themselves before they move forward?
Not very often, unfortunately, Sean, because most parents don't know that they can do that or what the benefits of doing that are. What is the motivation? When your mind and body are relaxed and in tune, you can do virtually anything in terms of being able to absorb information and be successful. So
Yes.
that's
I
why.
would guess, I would guess that our listeners probably fall into that category of being a former child that was never taught to center themselves
True.
and to calm themselves before attempting to accomplish a task. So, why don't we task our listeners? I think that would be a great way to close out today's show. Why don't you
Agreed.
give them a task, Vernon,
Well, you
for
want to be
centering
able
themselves?
you want to be able to relax, not just when you have to, but because it's something you've become accustomed to doing. In the morning is the best time. I tell my clients, best time to meditate is in the morning. And you get up out of bed, take care of your needs, sit in a chair, close your eyes, and just begin to focus on what would it feel like when I relax? And you relax your mind and your body. You visualize the air coming in and out of your body, and you just relax your head, relax your shoulders. You want to be able to do this not when you're under pressure and have to, but because it's something that you have become accustomed to doing. The best time, as I said, is in the morning. Second best time at night before you go to bed. You've got a test in the following morning. You've got something else you've got to do. Always leave your mind with something positive before you fall into the arms of Morpheus and you go to sleep. You are successful over and over and over. Spaced repetition. You are successful and you smile and you feel good. That's the task going forward. Not just when you have to. I've got to relax. Well, makes it a little more challenging. You will relax. Chill, relax. Oh, yeah, this is much better.
Oh, yes. That is a wonderful place to leave it this evening. So, what we would love for you to do, listeners, is to practice your focus by practicing focusing on your breath. And if you have any children in your household, it would be wonderful if you were to teach them some of the rudiments of meditation. Teach them how to close their eyes, teach them that it's a good thing to relax, teach them how to focus on their breath and how
Absolutely.
to set the intention for success in their lives.
Ooh, wish I'd heard that when I was a little kid. Anyway, glad I know it now.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Mind Mastery Accelerator. Please come and see us again. Give us a thumbs up if this video on focus resonates with you, and like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already.
Comment. Let us know how you made out with learning how to become more relaxed and focused. And let's talk about how we're going to move forward the next time we come together on Mind Mastery Accelerator.
We will see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.